G'day everyone. So, bit of a last minute video. Obviously, as you can probably see, it's almost night time out here at Glasshouse, but I just thought I'd put together these two videos to sort of celebrate the 1,000 subscriber mark, which we're only 5 subs away from at the time of filming this. In these videos, I'm going to be going over the things I love and hate about my Grand Vitara. Anyway, just want to start with the first thing, which is the styling. I just like the way the pre-facelift Grand Vitaras look. Essentially, the very early models of the JT Grand Vitara, they had the square reflectors up top. I prefer the ones down here because I've actually put tail lights in mine. So I just like the styling of the car. It's a good mix of boxy, but also still has some sort of curvature to it. It's nothing like Mitsubishi's design language where everything has to be curved. There's not really a straight line on those cars, but for me anyway, I just like the way it looks, especially with the roof spoilers. I do say these with the factory 18-inch wheels on them in that like gunmetal grey just look so good. But yeah, just like the design of the car. Just a nice looking vehicle in my opinion. I also do really like the pre-facelift front ends. The only thing that they really changed in the post-facelift was the grille and the bumper and the bumper support that goes behind that. I like this. It just looks a bit nicer in my opinion. I like the more aggressive like chin sort of part that comes out at the bottom. The grille being this sort of like honeycomb mesh style stuff rather than the facelift one, which is more of a smoothed over just more pedestrian sort of looking thing. Yeah, definitely like that. So that's the first thing out of the way. So we'll jump on to the rear of the car for the second. So second thing I love about my Grand Vitara is the spare wheel placement. I know in different countries, the Grand Vitara, the JT Grand Vitara, doesn't actually have a spare on the back boot door or tailgate. Here in Australia, we have the spare wheel mounted onto the door, which is good for a couple reasons. One, it frees up a lot of space underneath for mainly, I guess, the muffler. When you remove the muffler, like I have, which I'll have a link up in the corner to the exhaust videos, it gives you a heck of a lot of space under there to put, say, a water tank or some batteries or air tank, even a long-range fuel tank if you like. So being that this isn't like a lot of other four-wheel drives where the spare wheel is mounted underneath, you don't have to worry about your spare getting, you know, scraped across Glasshouse or puncturing the tire on the spare or anything like that. For the most part, it's better to have it there than to not have it there and have it under the car. So anyway, let's jump on to the third thing. So the third thing I love about this Grand Vitara is the ESP and traction control. So not all Grand Vitaras have this. I have actually seen some where the push button here is kind of split in half and the top section is, say, ESP and the bottom section is traction control. For my 2010 model with the 2.4 and the 4-speed auto, I just have ESP. It is good to have the ESP and traction control in these vehicles because they are independent front suspension and independent rear suspension, just like Mitsubishi's Pajeros, or at least the more modern ones anyway, are fully independent front and rear suspension, just like the newer Patrols as well, the Y62s. So it's great to have both of those because with driving these cars off-road, you are going to be prone to wheel lifts. If you're not comfortable with wheel lifts, probably look at another vehicle because these do love a good wheel lift, and as soon as that wheel goes into the air, the traction control takes over, locks up that wheel, transfers power to the other one, and off you go. For mine, I've got ESP, which I can switch off. However, my traction control I cannot switch off, but it's good to have it anyway because if I put a wheel in the air, in the likely event that a wheel gets in the air, it locks up and keeps going. So anyway, let's jump on to number 4. All right, so number 4, cruise control. Just kind of goes for any car, not really specific to the Grand Vitara, but I do just like it. It's great. Auto makes it easy to daily drive, and cruise control just makes daily driving even easier. So yeah, just a quick and easy one there. Love the cruise control, and also love the little slide out armrest here. So also quite good for daily driving. So anyway, let's jump on to the fifth and final. Alright, so the fifth and final thing is the 12-volt ports. So this car has 3. We've got 2 either side of the shifter, whether that's manual or auto. I've actually blanked one of mine out because I've got a slimline active sub under the passenger seat and I just tapped into that 12-volt source for that. But previous owners or someone must have spilt a drink in there because the cigarette lighter port was actually quite rusty on the inside, so I don't think it was really working all that much anyway. But still got one on the other side here, which I use to charge my phone, being that I have CarPlay on it. I just need to get the phone charged, especially with the off-road maps as well. But there's also another one in the boot, so whether you need to power a dash cam at the front on one side, charge your phone on the other, or have a sat nav, you can also have a fridge in the back off of that cigarette lighter port. It's just good to have like a bunch of 12 volt sort of in and out, so good to see. And yeah, anyway, let's jump back outside the car. So one of the bonus things I wanted to include in this is just the, I guess, maybe not uniqueness or cool factor, but it is just really neat to see, you know, one of these out on the tracks doing stuff. You don't really see a lot of them out on tracks, at least around my stomping grounds here in Glasshouse. I think I may have seen one other Grand Vitara, and I think it was a short wheelbase one. It's just cool. A lot of the looks I get when I'm in this is like, oh crap, you just did this track. You know, bloody hell, good on you. The rest of those looks are probably, what is old mate doing here in his Honda CR-V? Because apparently they look the same. That's probably the last thing, really. It's just cool to see them out on the tracks, quite novel. You don't see a lot of them. So it's always good when you see one of these out on the track because, you know, each day there's less and less of them in the world. They get wrapped around trees or written off, things like that. So to see something like this out on the tracks is pretty neat. This kind of goes for all Suzukis, really. I don't really see a lot of Suzuki's getting around Glasshouse. Like a lot of the times it's your Land Cruisers, so like your 80 series, your 100, your 105s, your 79, your 76, all that sort of stuff, you know, your Patrols, GQ, GU, all that stuff. That's mainly what you see around here. Then you got your Ford Rangers and your BT50s and all the bigger stuff you see. I just don't see a lot of Suzukis, and especially so Grand Vitaras. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. There is a second one coming out today as well, which is going to be the 5 things I hate about my Grand Vitara, with a few bonuses because I've got a bit of a list. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you stayed all the way to the end of the video, greatly appreciate that. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you everyone for 1,000 subs. I'm honestly pretty chuffed. I'm going to make a proper video for the 1,000 sub mark, but yeah, thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next video.